Hello there, and welcome. My name is Winter Rosie and you are watching the best series on the planet. You're either new to this whole thing or you've been waiting all year for a new episode. Nevertheless, here it is. To anyone new or has forgotten what this series is, it's basically just me yapping about K-pop songs I love for 20 minutes or so. From parts 1 to 9 I've covered about 60 songs already, and I'm telling you we have barely scratched the surface. It's almost been a year since part 9 and I am incredibly sorry for that. And since it's been that long I guess you can call this the beginning of a new season. It's still the same familiar format, just with a new direction, and I hope you guys like it. Usually in these episodes I cover about 7 tracks only, but for compensation, and this being the 10th part and a new beginning to the series, I will talk about 10 songs. This is a series I've always loved making, and I hope you guys missed it a lot as well. This isn't just a puny list of songs that are good, but it is some of, if not the best ever made. Anyways, without further ado, once again, my name is Winter Rosie, and welcome to the greatest K-pop songs of all time. Enjoy the video. People have said that I'm a little too generous when I review K-pop songs, saying I call everything a good song with only a few I call bad. Now while they are correct, I don't consider good as the highest term in the hierarchy. There is another word I give out K-pop songs that are just truly phenomenal. The song must possess an unattainable charm, that raises it above the ordinary, and at times transforms it into a timeless classic. I think you know the word I'm talking about. It's in the title, and it's the name of the series, so let's just get to it.
내가 제일 잘 나가 내가 제일 잘 나가 내가 제일 잘 나가 내가 제일 잘 나가 제일 잘 나가
Oh my god.
Wouldn't it have been so funny if no one ended up liking this song at all? A song titled I Am the Best shouldn't be anything less, and 21 did what they had to do. This was probably one of my first introductions to K-pop as a genre, and instantly I could tell why it was such a big thing. Any Asian kid knows this song by blood and you can't tell me otherwise. It had everything a hit song essentially needs, which is a distinct sound and a memorable hook. I'm not really the biggest of YG's style of music, but one thing I can admit is their artists have that it factor. While I do like intense choreographies and impressive vocal performances, 2NE1's charisma alone matches all of that, and if not, sometimes exceeds it. When it comes down to it at a music festival or concert, I'd honestly love to see YG artists perform over some groups. Their addicting songs combined with their powerful aura is enough to rock a whole stadium. In a way you could tie it with the song's meaning as well. They aren't particularly saying they are better than everyone, but more like they are the best at what they do. That's the kind of confidence they showcase with this song, and honestly listening to it makes me feel the same kind of way. We are the boss of our own lives and we are the ones who run this shit. K-pop has always been that, you know, that little boost of confidence. Music in general can evoke emotions out of us, and when you pair that with the concept of idols to look up to, K-pop becomes this rabbit hole you can't escape. Since the beginning and into the present it has always been this way, and I'd like to take you on that journey with me. Let me take you all the way back when K-pop started to seem more than just Korean music. I already know y'all will say Sotaeji actually started all that, but there was something about this group and Miritich that made it seem more like the K-pop we know today. It wasn't just hip-hop in Korean. K-pop was much more than that. It's addictive music, the attractive members, the cool persona the idols had, the well-made choreography that was also easy to learn, the roaring fanchants and strong fan connection. That to me is what K-pop not only as a genre, but as a culture truly is. Well, of course I wasn't alive back then or wasn't probably conceived yet, but just by hearing this song alone and all the comments and stories I've read and heard, you could tell how big this group was, and to be specific how huge this song is. Until this day it stacks up with some of the biggest songs in the industry. Yes, it is old, but it is most definitely gold. A song being popular during its time is one thing, but to say a song has stood the test of time, with thousands if not millions still listening to it? I don't know about you, but being relevant even after your time is one giant flex. Miratic wasn't just a song of the week or song of the year, it's the legacy of a group in one of the biggest industries ever. Idols will continue to cover it, companies will try to replicate it, and the people will continue to love it. Making this series made me realize just how much music out there is genuinely amazing, ones that can make you audibly go wow. I may have been disappointed many times, but at the end of the day I'll always be here waiting for the good to come. I discovered this song relatively early in my years of K-pop, and immediately became one of my favorites. I don't know, there is just something so suave with how this song is and how they perform it. B2B may just be another B-list group for y'all, but to me they were more than just that. Specifically they had very attractive voices, and my god they were very capable at singing. They were almost SN levels in terms of their vocals and I can't talk about it enough. You know how a lot of K-pop groups can sound alike most of the time? In B2B's case I don't think that ever happened. Genuinely I think their voices have a unique color if that's what you call it. And I'm not just talking about singers, I also think their rappers sound distinct compared to most. Which makes this song even better because if this was any other group singing, I think it would have lost the personality the song has. WoW is sexy in some parts but is also very fun. It takes itself seriously but not too much that it's just another sophisticated song, which I think really ties in well with how they are as a group. And not to mention the song is addicting as fuck, so there's that. I don't know if it's just me but it is rare to hear any K-pop songs like it these days. I don't mean thematically, but just the way how simple and effective a song can be without trying too much. I feel like K-pop songs try to gag the audience every opportunity they get. And while at times it can be impressive, it can feel forced too. Natural is the word I'm looking for. I love it when artists at least seem to enjoy singing their songs. And since K-pop idols most of the time don't really make their own music, it makes it feel less sincere. Of course I've gotten used to it, but in my opinion nothing will ever beat an artist literally be one with the song they're performing. When we're talking about K-pop artists who have a strong image, Yuna should most definitely be in that discussion. She may have had a confusing beginning to her career, but in the long run she may have had the biggest out of all, and I believe this song had a lot to do with that success. Regarding female artists, I always saw Yuna to be like Britney or Beyoncé in terms of significance. Everyone and their grandmas knew who this woman was, and it was because of her compelling persona and musical hits. Yuna and Bubble Pop might have been the first instance of, as far as I'm aware, the whole cutie sexy image lots of idols try to have these days. Until this day I don't think anyone has come close to what she had. I can name a few who were near, but still none of them could ever compare. The way this song hits every aspect of femininity could make any grown man shake some ass. There's something so girly pop about it that I don't think modern day K-pop has yet to replicate, and I don't think it ever will, because you'd have to clone her to make a song like this and pull it off. Again, it was just natural for her to be like this, and I think that's what truly made her unique especially during her time. It was either you were cute, or you were sexy, and Yuna was right in between. Especially when this song came out. Oh god. This is one of those songs I can confidently say only K-pop can pull off. K-pop for the most part knows how to have fun, and a song like this wouldn't be able to work as well in other regions of the world. But K-pop isn't always about funsies alright. As much as I appreciate loud bombastic music and such, I also appreciate it when K-pop groups take it slow. Since K-pop is all about variety, I think it's fair we look at everything it has to offer us.
I'm sorry, 내 머리가 너무 이성적인가 봐. 그래도 언젠가 보면 웃어줘. 조금은 아니, 어쩌면 많이 날 원망하겠지. 알아 내 꿈 때문에 널도 바라보지.
One of the biggest risks a K-pop group can take is to release a slower ballad type of song. But when it pays off it is far much better than any pop anthem you'll ever listen to. I know praising the biggest K-pop group could be compared to breathing air, but this was during a time when they weren't getting a fraction of the support they have now. One thing I will always commend BTS for no matter how big they get, is the way they make their music feel real. It's that sincerity I was talking about a while ago. You could tell just by listening that this song was made with heart. On top of that the song itself just sounds wholesome as is. No crazy dance breaks or high notes, just a simple song that exhibits purity. About 80% of K-pop is about romantic love anyways, so why not go all out, you know? A sweet song about wanting to spend just one day with the person you love. How could you hate something like that? I also love how they toned down their choreography for this specific song. Usually it's expressive movements and stunts when it comes to their dances, but this time they had props and chairs, and the choreography itself was slow, yet it was very endearing, just like the song itself.
손잡을 수 있다면 너와 내가 함께 할 수 있다면 너와 내가 함께 할 수 있다면
That bridge just encapsulates everything I love about the song. Again, something about it just hits you, and I love it when music hits me something. This is why I love art so much. In just a small 3-minute audio format you can feel emotions enough for a lifetime. BTS has released many bops and hits over their time, yet this one always had a special place in my heart. Was it the simplicity? Was it the message? Like I said, it could just be the sentimental feel the song gives you. But whatever it was made me consider this one of the greatest, and that in itself is commendable.
Can you please stay with me?
감정이란 꽃은 짧은 순간 피어나는 걸 그 하나 없이 완벽했던 시작을 넘어 낯선 파란빛이 파고들어 어지럽힌 걸 Mysteric.
This is the part where I say no one was doing it like them, because I honestly think it is true. K-pop at the time had the same two choices every album. It's like they just had to toss a coin if they wanted to make a comeback. Heads meant that you'll be getting a brighter song and concept, and tails meant you'd do the other side, in this case being darker and mature. Well, of course there's nothing wrong with that. Companies still do it these days, and to be frank it still and will probably always work well. But there were some who had the courage to step out of that zone, that being SM Entertainment with their ironically worst performing K-pop group ever. It's really crazy to think how far the group has fallen when they are modern K-pop's biggest influence. Literally all of your favorite groups wouldn't be what they are if it weren't for FX. Four Walls isn't their most ambitious track at all. In fact, a lot of Western pop music had this sound everywhere at the time. But again, it's the risk they took to release a song like this. No one was releasing music like this, because everyone was comfortable with what they had, and then out of nowhere FX releases a song that was a bit unfamiliar for K-pop. It's easy to tell why the group failed to gain more recognition. They were doing something out of the ordinary at the time, and it is quite sad they were left forgotten by many. But what wasn't forgotten was their influence on the future of K-pop. Songs like Four Walls made it easier for the West and international fans in general to get into the genre. And now most, if not all of our favorite groups are catering to an audience outside of the East, and it would be all thanks to groups like them.
네가 날 보는 걸 알아 누구보다 더 잘 알아 근데 굳이 자꾸 알면서도 날 계속 놀리고 싶어
Forgive me for using a snippet of Luna's content. I know times are rough and all, but I just wanted to appreciate everything this group has done, at least for me. The year was 2018, unarguably one of K-pop's peak years, and one of the most ambitious debut projects was about to conclude. I wasn't there during the beginning. I actually only got in halfway through the project, but even then I could tell the group Luna would be isn't your typical K-pop group. Yes, they did singing and the dancing and the music, but just like FX, they took it a step further. Why confine yourself to what's normal when you can reach out further, right? That was Luna's premise essentially. When it came to music, performances, videos, they just took it a step further than everyone else. Which is why I find it very ironic yet amusing that they debuted with a bubblegum pop song. And you know what, I think it was very genius both conceptually and commercially. Sometimes you gotta give the people what they already know. Luna wasn't from any big company, and as much as possible they needed to attract as much people as they can, hence this song being released. Now why it's such a genius thing conceptually is found behind the meaning of the song. Not only was this their debut song and they are saying hi to the world of K-pop, it's also one that showcases how this group would never settle for less and will strive to be on top, hence the high part of the title. And to be on top of the genre, you gotta respect its roots, therefore debuting with K-pop's most known concept, and in my opinion one of the best attempts at it as well. Of course that's all theories and the way I see it. Overall this was just a great introduction to the group known to be Luna, and that's all a debut really needs. After this they started doing their thing, releasing albums that could probably be some of the best and most ambitious in this genre. Diversity isn't just something any group can do, and there's only a few I can name who are able to pull it off.
좋아 첫눈에 반해버린 네가 자꾸만 생각나 내 방식대로 갈래.
When it comes to being diverse, we all know Red Velvet has a PhD on that subject. Red Flavor could be considered their least ambitious one yet, as it is just a summer song, but just like Luna, they have this ability to turn an ordinary idea into something special, and that is what I always loved so much about this group. This song isn't my favorite from them, but it does prove that they truly are one of a kind. I remember being disappointed by it because it was either I wanted a Velvet track or whatever, but as time goes by and the more K-pop songs I listened to, I came to appreciate what Red Velvet did with this song. There's only two things I really want from music, and that's great performances and emotions. If you've watched even a single of my videos, you know how much I value emotions in songs. I don't want a cardboard singing words into the mic. I want a real singer singing their hearts out for a song. I don't care if it's a ballad, a dance track or whatever. I just need to feel what the song is, and that is only possible if the artist pulls through with their performances. And speaking of performances, half-assed performances is what bugs me the most. I don't want to hear you at your least. As much as possible, try to give your biggest show no matter what. Red Velvet does both every single time and they do not ever miss. Vocal performances alone carry their songs a lot of the time. They can make tin cans rattling sound good just by singing into the mic, and I love that about them. And of course, good performances come with authentic emotions. Red Flavor and pretty much most of their songs are capable of making me cry, making this song feel like a colorful and endearing portrayal of a euphoric summer.
말 안 해도 알아주면 안 돼. 내 맘은 더 커져가는데 다 흘려버린 아이스크림 같이 이러다 녹을지 몰라. 그러니 말해 내 말을 그러니 말해 너의 색깔로 날 불들여줘 더 진하게 강렬하게.
And plus, this song might have the best bridge to any song ever, so of course, this is what I consider to be one of the greatest songs ever made. It is a shame it didn't win any big awards, but I don't think it diminishes the quality of the song at all, and as such, is still praiseworthy.
Make me feel so high 미치겠어 날 멈출 순 없어 You make me feel so high I'm so crazy
Birthed from the biggest survival show in K-pop, 101 was a big player for the time they were given. It's not an understatement when I say they were up there with the likes of BTS and EXO. They were truly that big. Sometimes a song is just meant to be iconic. The moment you hear those first notes, you knew you were watching history be made. And once again, the song wasn't anything crazy too. It was as simple as it gets, but God was it perfect. If I were to pick a foundation for what a K-pop song should be, it would be this right here. Just like the aforementioned songs, it has the essentials, and that's all you need to have a hit song under your belt. I literally got no other fancy words to say about it, because it's just straightforwardly a good song. It doesn't try hard and it doesn't pretend to be something else. A lot of songs actually suffer in that area. Artists and companies assume we want something grand, but in reality all we want is a song that doesn't disrespect the audience. As cliche as it sounds, simplicity is key because it works. Though some of them might not get idea, I know a few who does. This next group might have the biggest future ahead of them. Just the way they incorporate their concepts, themes, and messages to their songs and videos, is what I consider the culmination of everything that came before them. And in a way, they are what I consider K-pop at its peak.
Stay in the middle, like you a little. Don't want no riddle. 말해줘, say it back, go say it, did I? 아침에 너
I find it really hard to dislike NewJeans, because I feel like when you look at the idol scene as a whole, I don't think anyone else exerts the same level of brilliance like they do. They treat K-pop as an art form and not just a market. Though of course the latter is most probably the main priority, it doesn't hinder them for openly expressing themselves in ways every K-pop group could, but choose not to. And again, it does help them coming from a big company, to fully explore the creative possibilities music and film can offer, which is why I think they really are, at least for now, the best group K-pop has. And Ditto might as well be one of the greatest songs I've heard ever. I'd compare their music to something like Dreams. First of all, the interpretations you can form just by experiencing them. This song alone has had many theories behind its meaning. Some say it's as simple as a winter love song, while some say it could be much deeper than that. Now add that with their well-written and cinematic music videos which could be passed as short films, it adds another layer of expressiveness and creativity. Just like Dreams, where everything could happen all at once, and it all comes from the mind. And of course, there is the emotional impact. I've had many first impressions on K-pop comebacks, but I don't think anything would ever compare to what I felt listening to this for the first time. I felt sad, but I also felt hopeful. Even without watching the video or reading the lyrics, you could just feel something in the song, and it hits a part deep inside you. It's not a tragic song per se, but it feels real, and I think that's what people and myself mean when we say this song is sad. Sometimes songs will be the ones telling you how to feel, and that's alright. I'll listen to music when I want to be happy, when I feel like a boss, or when I feel romantic, or maybe when I just want to dance. And this might be corny to some of y'all, but Ditto is a song I listen to when I just want to feel. As I've mentioned, groups like Luna and FX have tried to break away from standardized K-pop, which they have done successfully, but relative to what they've done, the recognition they received wasn't enough. Perhaps they had little or no promotion, or perhaps they were too advanced for their time. Either way, I am thankful for groups like them for laying the foundation for the future. NewJeans has done exceptionally well so far, bringing everything K-pop is known and loved for, and encapsulating it in a way everyone can enjoy. And for Ditto, the melancholic melody of the song wraps you in a soft hug of feelings that reach deep into your soul. Each note holds 1,000 feelings, drawing a clear picture of affection, sorrow, and the dance of memories, that are both sad and sweet, making it one of the greatest K-pop songs of all time.